All right, people, today I have with us the Espossito Alpha. This is one of the Earth Alliance mechas. This one has a little story here, so let's go ahead and read this one. The A-type was developed to break through the limits of cruising speeds and adopted a nose and tail stabilizers that function as an additional armament. Armaments for the air fighters, tanks, altos, and rabiots can be remodeled and attached to the Espossito based on the pilot's preferences. This makes modular combinations with other units much easier. Now, this one is a transforming Examac, and of course it is very modular. There are a lot of 3mm ports, just like a lot of the 30-minute missions kits. So you're going to be able to put all kinds of different things on this one, and it is pretty nice to have that freedom. This one is one of 3 Espossitos. This one is the Alpha, there is a Beta, and then I forget what the other one is. Someone will mention in the comments, I'm sure. But that one was P-Bandai exclusive. I have not built it yet, but I do own it. This one is actually, like I mentioned, transformable, and I will go through the motions on how to transform it for you guys so you can see it. But in the normal mode here, as you see, it is a bit awkward and gangly. You know, very long, lanky, has very long legs compared to the other Examacs, but it is a very nice looking unit in my opinion. It's one of my favorites actually, next to the Maxion types. So I can go ahead and go over the articulation on this one really fast before I go over a size comparison and before I show you guys the transform. So this is the Espossito. We have inside here the old style mounts on the sprues. This one's going to be just the simple rocker over here and then a ball joint up at the top. So we have our head that can move any way you need your head to move. On the shoulder here, you have a pivot point right here, a pivot point inside the shoulder here, and then of course it can revolve around the arm there. Take that off. Ball joint inside the chest, which also has an articulation inside the chest as well, so you can move that. Lots of different freedom of motion there is key. Quite a lot there. Then of course it does rotate on that axis as well, of course barring the shoulder armor. That'll be your limiting factor there. The upper arm pivots on the same joint there, and then has 1 point of articulation at the elbow. But it does go quite a long way compared to some of the others because of the angle. The way they attach that one is pretty cool. I think my light is too bright, so I'm going to turn that down real fast. Okay. Inside the joint of the waist, we have the peg that goes into a ball joint up at the top. So you have a waist pivot here. You can move up and back. Be very careful with that one. You don't want to wear out that ball. Another ball on the bottom of the joint goes around here on the waist. You have a pivot on the waist here, so the side skirts can move up and down. At both sides. The hips here can drop down like a lot of the 30-minute missions kits can. That drops down and push it back up. Moves back out, in, whichever way you'd like. On that ball joint, attached to the leg, you can move that a lot of different directions. You know, not very far, but you can move it. At the knee, there are 2 joints, so the knee is not where you expect it because this upper leg section is very long, but this section can move all the way down here, and then we have another point of articulation way down here. So it looks like, you know, it's a lot longer than it actually is. On the side here, we have this little jet. This jet is pegged into the side here and can rotate just like so. That is on a 3mm and a 3mm peg, just like that. And then at the bottom, we have the rocker, just very similar to the other 30-minute missions that can move this way and that on a ball joint that pegs into a very, very simple foot for this guy. So I'm going to pose him in a nice way, and we're going to go ahead and do a size comparison, guys. All right, here is Grandpa Gundam from the Gundam Build Diver series. About the same height as him, and you know that is very unusual for a 30-minute missions kit. Here he is beside the Alto, which is on the same side and on the same faction as the Espossito Alpha here. Like I said, he's a very tall mech. It is very also reminiscent of the Frame Arms series, so here is Jinrai from that series. The height is very uncanny, and I think the feet on this one are actually boosted up where his aren't, so I think they would be equal in size if he didn't have those large blocky feet. But since he does, he still takes the cake. And at 1/100 and 1/144, it's a pretty close call. As mentioned before, this guy is a very tall person, a very tall mecha, and it almost outclasses the Frame Arms girls, which are very tall mecha girls. All of the shorter 30-minute sisters will be a lot shorter than him because they usually come up right to her shoulder. Another modular build system is the Hexagear system. This one is the Nero, our governor, and as you can see, he only comes up to his knee here. Very tall looking mecha. Alright, and I know I said it a million times, but this very tall mecha is still shorter than my master grade Alex Gundam here. Alright, and here I am going to go ahead and change the mode from flight, or from standard here, normal mode, to flight mode. I'm going to speed it up a little bit so you guys can see that happen. Enjoy. Alright, and I actually got the location wrong for those. It's supposed to be on his legs down here, but I'm going to leave it right here as it is because I kind of like how it looks. It is a very funny looking unit in flight mode, but it does get the job done. You do get a sense of an air vehicle, kind of reminiscent of the Zeta Gundam type mobile suits. Weird and wonderful. I kind of dig it, you know, it's like an ugly fighter, you know, very ugly. But there he is. Obviously, these are going to be your thrusters, and you get your ammunition here underneath the nose. So not a lot of weaponry for a transformation, but apparently you can get pretty quick with a flight unit like this. And I don't know if this one is in atmosphere. It does look like it could be in atmosphere, but it's not very aerodynamic, so we would see which one does which. But yeah, that's this goofy unit's transformation ability. Not anything really to write home about, considering this is one of its special features. But it is a decent looking kit in normal mode, in my opinion. And the fact that you can transform it right out of the box is pretty fun. It is very, of course, compatible with all the option parts, like the wing units from the Air Fighter version, the Air Fighter option pack. That's always a cool one to play with. They are gray as well, so you wouldn't need to do a lot of paint if you didn't want to. Something to think about there. It is a really nice... they are very compatible with other option parts, so feel free to do something as you wish. But considering this guy was supposed to be out of the box transformable like this, I think it's a pretty good set. Now, price-wise, it was a little bit on the higher side. I think it's a $20 set instead of like $16, $17. But I've seen them on sale in a lot of places. I got this one for $12 at Brookhurst Hobbies. Which is a really great price. It was on sale, like I mentioned. I haven't seen it there again, But if you look elsewhere online, you might be able to find one at that lower price. It is, I don't think it was very popular. It is a little weird. But with that said, me personally, I do really like the way it looks. That's my favorite part about it, is that it is a weirdo look. So I think that's just me being who I am. I like weird things. What can I say? But put that together with the price, and you know, it's not too bad. It's not too bad a deal. You get a transformer, a nice looking kit, and it's very compatible with all the other 30-minute mission stuff. You use these really cool parts for customs on other stuff, and it is something that you can have a lot of fun with. But with that said, I think I'm going to stop bugging you about the Espossito. I'm not trying to sell it to you in any way, guys. This is just something that I do for fun here. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Seeing my weirdo stuff, my oddball opinions, seeing anything else I come up with. But that is it for now, guys. I will see you guys next time, or you'll see me, but more than likely, you will see my stuff. Bye-bye.